Questions for Coach Dunphy?
Fran, how important?
Stop the outside shooting and appear to work.
Yeah, we wanted to take away the three, try to run them off the three-point line a little bit. I was a little concerned when the last jumper that banked at the top of it, I thought maybe it wasn't meant to be, but I thought we defended pretty well most of the game. Obviously, the Plumlee brothers were a handful. They were terrific inside. They're just a little bit too much for us on a 40-minute game basis. But I was pleased with our defense, and obviously, when you can win a game like this, it's everybody has to play well, and you have to get a little lucky too, and I think we did.
Fran, was that the pace?
How you guys have defended the three really well, and you know your outsides in front court. You're only 54 against it. Can you shut them down the perimeter? We have a chance.
Yeah, I think you go into a game thinking that if they do beat you up inside and get a number of two-point field goals, it's going to prevent them from going on these killer runs, which that's what they do. I mentioned it before the game, saying that you know, typically when you play them, it's a 10-0 run. You feel like you're in pretty good shape, and then you get a 10-0 run against you, and that 4-point deficit is now 14, and then they do it again in the second half. So I thought we stemmed the tide. There was a couple of big shots. One of the shots I think was Riley Jefferson's jumper. They had been on a little bit of a run, and Rob made a huge jump shot. I thought he was terrific. And I could say that about everybody. In order for us to win, everybody's got to do a great job.
You've beaten some good non-conference teams last few seasons, but does Duke feel a little different only kind of Mike and what they represent?
Well, sure. I think that the quality and the success of that program and what Mike has done, and I mentioned it to him before the game when we gave him that. Philadelphia gave him that plaque, and I was proud of our administration. Bill said, let's do something for Mike and show him how appreciative we are of the work that he has done over the course of his time. So I mentioned it to him. It's just an incredible basketball program, and for us to come out on top tonight is really very, very nice for a lot of people, a lot of Temple folks, a lot of Philadelphians, and certainly our team and our program. We're thrilled to have the opportunity to be standing here as winners tonight.
Fran, was that the pace and tempo you wanted?
Excuse me?
How much confidence and trust do you just have in Cleve?
Yeah, he's got huge courage, and he just has no fear, and I think that's what you need in a game like this. He made those 2 threes that. And I just asked our guys, what was the score when he made the first one? Was it 4-7 and then 7-10, something like that, which then gives you a little bit of space. And so yeah, but he can do that. And at the end of the game, he won him on the foul line because he's got that kind of guts. And he promises me that he is really attempting to play better defensively. So I'm going to trust in that before I lose my mind.
They said that
John, was that you that was asking that question?
Were you just pleased at the way your guards were able to control the pace and tempo?
Yeah.
And was that what you wanted at that pace?
Yeah, I think there was only one way we could win, and that is to manage the game and have those 3 guys, and they're pretty good basketball players, and they're gonna be able to make good decisions with the ball. And we did turn it over a bit too much, and I thought we forced a few things that we shouldn't have. But I think overall, those 3 guys did exactly what you need them to do, and then we get efforts like Raleigh and Anthony Lee tonight that were just terrific. Again, we can't, unless everybody's together, we can't win the game, but certainly it puts us at a good advantage when we have those 3 veteran kinds of guards.
They said that you came into the locker room and said, okay, good win. Now I'm concerned about Dayton.
Yeah, I'm sort of a jackass. So. And I am. And there's 2 other things, or 2 other people that I'm concerned about too, and that would be Scooty Randall and Mike Eric, because they didn't get a chance to share in this through no fault of their own. So yeah, I am worried about Dayton, because that's the next step along the way. And while this is a fabulous, fabulous win, and we will enjoy it tonight, we'll go to work tomorrow to see what we can do on Saturday against Dayton. But again, you think of, here's 2 kids that these windows of opportunities for these players are so small, and then they get hit with these injuries, and it just, I feel for them. And they couldn't, they shared in it because the team did well, but it would be great if they were healthy, and that's what you always hope for, because these kids are, again, their shelf life is very, very short.
Fran, the last TV timeout, Khalif comes running off the court with pumping both fists, and Ramon and Juan kind of shuffle up, their head down, kind of focused. just talk about their different personalities and how they kind of mesh on the court?
You know, I'm going to disagree a little bit because I thought one of our guys grabbed Khalif and it seemed like to say, hey, you're doing a great job out there, and it looked like to me, he said, I don't even want to hear about the job I've been doing. I want to make sure I do a great job the final three and change whatever it was. That being said, their personalities are vastly different, every one of them. They can all do really good things for their team. They can all be even better basketball players on the other end of the floor defensively, but again, I'm not going to sit there and quarrel with them tonight, but after I watch the film a couple times, we'll save a couple of those not so great defensive possessions. I thought we allowed them a couple of second chance opportunities late that we kind of stood and watched, and that's what we can't do.
Coach, can you talk about having a team ride the subway to the game today?
Yeah, we did that the last time we played, and I think it's the reason why we do it is because that's Temple. Over the course of Temple's lifetime, people would ride the subway to school. They would go out, get out of the subway, go to class. They go back in the subway, go to their part-time jobs in order to afford the education that they got, and then go home. And so for us, it's kind of a tribute to all those Temple people that have done that for so many years. That's who we are, and we just wanted to let everybody know that we appreciate what Temple University is all about.
Anthony Lee go up a little bit tonight?
Oh my God! How about his jumper? So, no, one of those. No, and he knocked it out. Of course, he got a little too much confidence. He left it wasn't as good as your jump shot on the second one, but I thought he did a great job. A couple of great drives to the rim to avoid the charge and finish the play, and then did a good job at the foul line too. I was proud of him.
You gave, Fran, you gave Wyatt, I thought it was a fairly lengthy rest right before he came out and hit the two. Were you trying to get his legs fresh? Or
No, he had 3 fouls, and as soon as we put him back in, he gets 4. You know,
Yeah.
but and each time it was, I didn't want to put him back in defensively. If I could find the spot to get him back in offensively, that's what it was. And that being said, I've certainly made many mistakes on substitution over the years, but that was the reason. We just tried to save him because when late in the game we want to get him the ball and get him to the foul line because he's pretty reliable there, and they all are.
Coach, what about all the fans? I mean, this place, beginning-wise, before the game, it looked like it was maybe going to be 50-50, and then towards the end, it was going crazy. The number of students that came down, the number of people that came out in Philadelphia to support you had to make you feel good.
Yeah, and they were supporting us, and I was very, very proud of that. There was one other team that they were supporting too, and you know, I don't get that many calls when we're playing some other team, but when you're playing Duke, I got a ton of calls. And so I think it's a tribute to what Duke University is all about, what Mike Krzyzewski is all about, what he has built at that institution. And what you want is what happened at the end. And our kids, I know they probably weren't supposed to rush the floor, and I feel badly about that, but that's the kind of program Duke is. When you have a chance to win the game, the floor is getting. That's when you have arrived as a basketball program. When the students rush the floor, and Duke is. It's a magnificent basketball program. Obviously, a spectacular school, and we were privileged to play them tonight.
Touch briefly on your friendship with Mike and how you guys met and what that relationship has meant to you.
Well, it's very important to me. In 1971, I had a chance to. I was in the United States Army, and I had a chance to get out of infantry duty, and somebody asked me if I would like to play basketball in the Army. I said, yeah, seems like a good idea to me. And when I went to try out, Mike was there, and we had another good buddy of ours, Jim Oxley, was there, who's a South Jersey guy, great player, great guy. And so we got a chance to play together. And to be honest with you, you could see that he was going to be a spectacular leader even while he was playing on that team, and he would come off the bench for our group, but he was the most knowledgeable, the best leader that we had in the program. And he was starting to study, he was starting to read, he was starting to think of how he was going to be, in my mind, how he was going to be a great basketball coach, and it obviously came to fruition. I can't tell you the amount of respect I have for the man.
He talked about the tradition that this program has, and you're talking about, preserved reverence for Duke. Where is Temple? I mean, you talk about riding the subway. Are you the subway kids trying to climb the ladder?
Yeah,
Where are you?
I think we still have yet to. We're still to be determined. I think, and each year is such a different situation. And can we be good? Yeah, I hope so. But we need some help. I mean, you can do things where we are today on a short range basis. Now, can we do it for a long time without the likes of Mike Eric, without the likes of Scooty Randall. We'll have to see, you know. But we talk about it a lot. We talk about how tough we have to be, and I mentioned it today or yesterday about Aaron Brown maybe checking out somebody who's 5, 6 inches bigger. He's got to do it. That's just the way it is. We're not feeling sorry for ourselves. We're going to keep plugging away. If we can get lucky, maybe we can win our share of games.
Is Mike any closer from that?
Yeah, I think each week he's a little bit closer. And, you know, I think that the time frame now is maybe toward the end of the month. And if we can, we just need that presence, you know. And I want it for Mike. I want it badly for Mike because he's a good man.
Any more questions?
Thank you.
This is the third largest